My name is Simonsson, and I've directed this film together with Johannes.
Yes, my name is Johannes Stjärne Nilsson. So we co-directed Sound of Noise.
And we've known each other since we were 7 years old, and we've done started with school plays and continued with film. We haven't studied film. I went to music academy and Johannes went to an art school in Stockholm.
Okay. We made a lot of short films and documentaries, but this is our first feature.
How came to you the idea of Sound of Noise?
It all began with a short film we made in 2001 called Music for One Apartment and 6 Drummers. And it's the same drummers in that film. They break into an apartment and they play on the objects they find in this apartment. And when we were finished with that film, we thought that maybe we had done a very narrow film that musicians would like. It turned out to be something that could talk to a lot of people and a lot of cultures. But still we thought that this was it, so we moved on to other projects and did new short films and new documentaries. But we started to do performances with the drummers, playing live on objects, and we gathered so many good ideas that we said that we must use them in some way. So even if we had planned to do other feature films, we had written 2 feature film scripts, we said that we must use these ideas. So let's do a film where we drop down the 6 drummers in a feature film. And so we began this journey. As we had to begin in the wrong end. We began with the sound design, and normally you end your film with working with the sound design. We had to begin with it because to be able to have this music, we had to have all the sounds. So we started with recording sounds. We had ideas of the different concerts that we wanted to have in the film, and so we gathered all the objects that we wanted to play on. It was more or less like it is in the film, that we and the drummers hunted for the best sounds. So during 1 year we had music sessions where we hunted down the best sounds on bulldozers and excavators and operation tables and you name it. We built a bank of sounds. In the end we had over 23,000 sounds that Magnus put together to music. Magnus Börjesson, who is the composer in the film and also the composer in real life.
Well, we had to be very carefully prepared. As in every shoot, you never have enough time. You're always on the whip and have to be very efficient. So what we did was that we really early when we developed the music, we also started to work with the visual ideas and made storyboards and made it clear in our heads how we should tell these scenes visually, because we really wanted the visuals and the editing to be musical as well. It's so important that it comes down to a whole. And so when we actually came to shooting, we were very, very well prepared. We knew exactly which instruments we should show at what time and who were playing what, the choreography of the drummers, how they move and what they play and when. And another important thing that we carried with us from the start was that we needed the music to be inside the story. So these musical scenes really should develop the story. The music brings the story forward. So it was quite complex, and it required much more preparation, I think, than a normal film shoot.
Yes, and during the pre-production there was a lot of ping-ponging between the script and the music, because they really affected each other.
Yeah, sure.
And sometimes an idea that worked in theory in the script didn't work when we found the sounds and tried to make music of it.
Well, first of all, this concept is we like the combination of music and criminal activities. Music and crime is a very interesting combination.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yes, and we wanted to push that and bring that further. And of course, if you have a gang of drummers that perform illegal music and take music that far, you have to have an antagonist. And in this policeman, we also created a person who hates music, and that's also something that we wanted to explore, because hating music is not really allowed. You should love music. Everybody should love music, and to have a character who speaks the word that I really dislike music, it was a reason enough for us, more or less. We try to be as synchronized as we can before we go on a shoot. Since we do everything together, we develop ideas and stories and write scripts together. When it comes to the actual shoot, we are as synchronized as possible. So we share all aspects of directing. If we sometimes divert our energy, it tends to be that I work more on the visual side and Ola more on the audio side. But it can easily flip and be the opposite. And then of course we have, since we've been making short films for a very long time, we also have a family of crew members that we have worked with many times before, and that also is a security for us. It makes working very efficient, but also very fun.
It's the same for the writing?
How we divide?
Yeah.
Yes, I would say so.
Yes.
It can be a little, the process can look a little different sometimes. Sometimes we say, okay, let's write a new version of the script. I start from the beginning and you start from the middle. Sometimes we just take a scene each, and then we just changed it and we rewrite the other person's scene. So it's quite an open and living process.
Sanna person is not a drummer, it's a real actress.
She's an actress, but
yeah.
She also played the drums a little. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have worked with Sanna in many earlier projects also. She's one of our absolute favorites. She's such a natural. So she was she's an important part of the group dynamics. She was that already in the short film. So I consider her as a musician as well as a drummer, as an actor. Sorry.
Okay, and what about Nilsson? Yeah.
And
do you have do you work yet with him, or it was the first time? Or?
You have worked with him before.
yes, we did a short project together, but this was this is his first big main part in cinema. He's been working for a long time with both television and on stage. He's a well-known actor, but it was quite a challenge to find the right person for this character, because it is someone that we really need to connect with and understand and feel for, even though he has this very specific problem. And we found all that in Bengt. He is an absolute genius when it comes to acting. So it was we were very lucky to find him.
I don't think we could have made this film with another actor. He was always so well prepared and exact in what he did at any time of day. And we had a lot of strange situations when we shot the film, in the middle of the night or very early in the morning, and you could always rely on him when it came to his interpretation of this very strange policeman.
Yeah.
It's I listen to a lot of music, of course. Especially singers, and I think the favorites would be probably Elvis and Jussi Björling and Yves Montand. I think they are favorites, absolutely.
And you?
I'm not a musician, so when it comes to inspiration, I try to find that from all over. Music is, of course, is important, but also art and books and cinema. And for my part, I try to find what I need for the moment to inspire, and that means that it can be very, very different, high and low, and I have a huge collection of vinyl records from the 40s and 50s with only string music. That's my perverse passion. But I listen to all kinds.
Not more than it is in Paris.
Okay.
But there is really music everywhere. So I think nowadays there's music everywhere, and silence is very exclusive. It's quite the opposite than 100 years ago, when music was exclusive and you got a lot of silence. Yes.
Right now, we're coming towards Christmas, and you hear Christmas music everywhere, even in the streets, coming from stores and restaurants, and I think this vision of a city that is filled with music coming from speakers all around is not that far away, I must say.
I heard that after a screening in Belgium, there was a man that I talked with afterwards, and he said that, did you know that when Kraftwerk was on their big US tour, every time they went in an elevator and they heard elevator music, the technician of the band, he always cut the cables of the music. So he had a screwdriver and he cut the cables.
I'd like to do that sometime.
Of course, see? It's not only us. No.
No,
That's not a reaction or like Amadeus who wouldn't like music.
No, not really. It's not a political film in that sense. Well, what we wanted to do was a combination of a very experimental film and also a highly entertaining film. That was the aim, to mix these two. But of course, we try to follow our hearts and do a film that we liked, but you never know if anybody else will like it. So, but it seems like a lot of people like it, and we're happy for that.
Of course, it's we find it interesting to bring up the subject of how music is defined, why is some music considered to be better than other, and so on. And that was part of this project, to try to explore what is to be found in this borderline between noise, sound, and music as we know it. So in that sense, Sanna in the film is kind of a good spokesperson for this point, as this approach. She's very free in mind. For her, anything can be music. So we try to raise some thoughts, but it's in the end we're very happy if people just go to the cinema and have a blast. It's good enough for me.
Well, we never went to film school, none of us. So I don't think we have any house gods. I think we find inspiration in the world outside, meeting people and looking at people and not necessarily other filmmakers.
Yes, we do. We are developing
together.
Yes. But as we said earlier, we try to really follow our hearts and try to always remember that we must have fun when we work. So right now, what is most tempting is to develop the music more together with the drummers. So right now we're working on a live performance act with the drummers, where we mix live drumming with remixed music and live projections. So that's quite exciting, but we have no idea where it will land. But that's something that we are developing together with the drummers.